If you talk to yourself out loud, stay up way too late overthinking random conversations from 2019, and your desk looks like a crime scene. I have good news. Psychology research keeps finding the same thing. These aren't signs something's wrong with you. They're actually linked to higher intelligence. Today, we're going through 10 habits that show up again and again in highly intelligent women. And number 6 is the one almost nobody realizes is actually a sign of a sharp mind, not a flaw. Quick note before we start, this isn't about IQ tests or bragging rights. Real psychological research on intelligence looks at behavior patterns, not just test scores. So if you recognize yourself in most of these, that's the research talking, not flattery. Let's go. Habit 1. You're a night owl and you always have been. Evolutionary psychologist Satoshi Kanazawa studied this and found that people with higher cognitive test scores tend to go to bed later and wake up later, even when controlling for age and other factors. His theory, staying up late is a relatively new behavior in evolutionary terms, and people with higher intelligence adapt to new behaviors more easily. So if your brain fully turns on at 11 p.m., that tracks. Habit 2, you swear a lot and somehow it's still articulate. Psycholinguist Timothy J. actually studied this and found that people with a larger vocabulary overall also tend to know more swear words. It's not that swearing replaces vocabulary, it's a sign of it. Fluency in polite language and fluency in taboo language come from the same place. A bigger overall word, bank. Habit 3, you overthink everything, replaying conversations, worst case scenario spiraling at 2 a.m. A 2015 study out of Interdisciplinary Center Herzliya found that verbal intelligence was linked to more frequent worry and rumination. Basically, the same mental machinery that lets you analyze problems deeply also makes it harder to switch off. It's a double-edged sword, same brain, same wiring, different outcome depending on the day. Habit 4, your desk is chaos, but somehow you know exactly where everything is. Researcher Kathleen Vohs at the University of Minnesota found that people in messier environments actually performed better on creativity tasks than people in tidy environments. Mess doesn't mean disorganized thinking. For a lot of highly intelligent people, it's a byproduct of a brain that's constantly mid-project. Habit 5, you talk to yourself out loud regularly while cooking, while working, while trying to figure something out. Cognitive scientist Gary Lupien's research suggests that self-talk actually improves focus and problem solving. Saying things out loud engages a different part of processing than just thinking them. So, no, you're not weird for narrating your own life. You're using a legitimate cognitive tool. And here's habit 6, the one I promised you. This one comes from the Dunning-Kruger research, but the part nobody talks about. The effect works both ways. Less competent people tend to overestimate their ability, but highly competent, highly intelligent people tend to underestimate theirs because they're aware of just how much they don't know. That constant feeling of, I'm probably not that smart. Everyone else seems to have it figured out. Research suggests that feeling is actually more common in people who are genuinely sharp. Confidence and competence aren't the same thing, and often they're inversely related. Habit 7, your sense of humor is a little dark, a little absurd, and not everyone gets it. A 2017 study from the Medical University of Vienna found that people who enjoyed dark humor scored higher on both verbal and nonverbal intelligence tests and had lower levels of aggression than people who disliked it. Processing dark humor requires holding two conflicting ideas at once, which takes real cognitive flexibility. Habit 8. You've got 17 half-finished hobbies, 4 open browser tabs from 3 months ago, and a genuine desire to learn about things that have zero practical use in your life. This is a well-documented trait tied to intelligence called need for cognition. Basically, some brains just crave new information for its own sake, not for a reward. It's not lack of focus, it's an appetite. Habit 9. Small talk drains you, but a deep 2-hour conversation with one person energizes you. This shows up repeatedly in research on intelligence and social preference. It's not about being antisocial. It's that highly intelligent people often get more genuine reward from complexity and depth than from surface level interaction volume. And habit 10, you constantly rephrase yourself mid-sentence, searching for the exact right word instead of just the first one that comes to mind. That real-time self-editing is actually a sign of high verbal processing speed. Your brain is running quality control on language faster than most people even notice they're doing it. So if you counted 7, 8, 9 out of 10 of these, that's not a coincidence, and it's definitely not something to hide. A lot of these traits get mislabeled growing up as too much, too intense, too weird, when really the research says the opposite. Which habit hit closest to home for you? Tell me the number in the comments. I actually read everyone. And if you want to go deeper on this, we made a whole video on the psychology of people with extremely high IQ. It's linked right here, and it goes even further into how this shows up in daily life.